going to do a video on the handover of a new Triumph. So I'm going to start off with the paperwork and go through what you get and what it means and what the various different things signify within the handover. With every new Triumph, you get a Triumph rucksack. This is a nice little bit of kit, adjustable, dead useful. And of course that's really handy because when you're picking up your new bike, you can put all your paperwork in it to take it home. So you don't need to worry about carrying your file home. The salesman that sold you the bike would normally put their card in here. So it's got their card in with their phone number on. In the pack, we always put a sheet which has got contact details, so opening times of the store, contact details, fax number, which people don't tend to use faxes nowadays, but email, fax, direct number for the service reception, so that when you ring service, you'll be ringing through straight to the service counter. Each new bike is data tagged, so when you're getting insurance, it comes with a data tag kit. This one hasn't been fitted yet, obviously, because this is a bike that hasn't been PDI'd. But in there is the kit that we will fit to the bike. There are 4 certificates, I think it is. 1 we keep, 1 goes to data tag, and 1's for your insurance company, and 1's for you, so that you've got record of it having been fitted. This pack here is for a Tiger 900, and the keys on this, you just get 2 keys with this, which is most Triumphs are like this, other than the remote key models. So you get 2 keys, main key that you would use. They're both chip keys, they both look exactly the same, no difference. The key number is on a little tag with it, little aluminium tab on it which has got the key number on it, which if we're ever wanting to get another key, so if you keep this one safe and you're looking to lose that one, that number is very useful for us to get the correct key for you cut from Triumph, so that you're back to having 2 keys. All new Triumphs come with a lovely little Triumph keyring. With this you get two cylinders, so 3 cylinders, sorry, 3 cylinders, and these are on the same key as the original key there. So that, and the idea of that is that these can be used with the panniers and top box, so you can have matching luggage all on the same key, not having to mess about, and that just goes in there. So it's very important that you keep this key barrel safe, because obviously if 2 years down the line you decide you want luggage, or somebody else decides they want luggage, then if you lost that, you're not going to be on the same key. 2 books. One is the owner's manual, which is in a variety of languages. This has got all the sort of little bits of do's and don'ts of how the displays work, and all the various bits about the bike. There is an index in the front, dead easy to follow. It's a very, very useful bit of kit. That's sort of that's the Bible really for the bike. You will also get a service record book, which has got where we would stamp the service, the first service, annual services and the like in there. Well, bring this with you when you bring it in for servicing, and then we can stamp it up. The servicing is recorded online, and it's also recorded in this book. So the actual online recording is the most important bit, and obviously we record it on our system as well. But if it's recorded properly at Triumph, you should be able to go anywhere pretty much in the world where they've got a dealership, and if you have a problem, it'll come up that it's been serviced and that it's under warranty or not, as the case may be. Triumph recommend for first service 500 miles or 1 month. So the idea there is that if you do 500 miles in the first week, then you need to be having your first service done. Obviously, if you do 350 miles and you're still a month into ownership, then you really sort of need to be thinking about having your first service done. Now, if you've done 20 miles in your first 4 weeks of ownership, we wouldn't really advise that you bring it in for service. What we would try and get a bit more mileage on it, because obviously what we're looking at here is the bike comes with running in oil, and what you're aiming to do is get the pistons and cylinders so running in properly and everything running, and working properly before we change that oil and filter, which is what it's all about. Warranty is very good with Triumph. What it covers, people ask, what does the warranty cover? Well, it's probably easy to explain in some ways what it doesn't cover. So it covers the vehicle, the motorcycle, against manufacturing defect. So that doesn't mean that if you let it fall off its side stand and scratch the side panel that you can claim that under warranty. That's not a warrantable item. It doesn't cover wear and tear items, so if you wear your brake pads out, it doesn't cover those. Paint, if there's something, a mark underneath the lacquer that's obviously been, arrived when it was happened while it was being painted, then that will be a manufacturing defect as well. So that's the sort of the crux of the warranty. Each new bike comes with RAC recovery. That can be extended after your first year, up to 2 years. That's there to recover the bike to us. So if you've paid for that in with the bike, very useful if you get a puncture, but if you have got a problem and it won't work or whatever, it is there to get the bike back to us. Any new bike bought from Youles Motorcycles comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's on the major components. So we're looking at the internals of the gearbox. Some of the head gasket is covered inside the gearbox. Things like that are covered on that. That's reliant on you having your servicing with us. Your V5, which is your registration document, usually comes through about 2 weeks after you've picked up the bike. We register the bike online for you here. We do that part of the DVLA's exercise, so you have to get insured beforehand. We'll give you the registration number. Quite often when we give you a registration number, the insurance company won't recognise that because their database doesn't sync immediately. But obviously you've got the make and model of the bike, you can get your insurance set up. They'll do that on you giving them the insurance number. That's not a problem. Then we'll register it online. Our girls do that, and then your V5 will follow through the post, usually 2 or 3 weeks after you bought it. So don't panic if it doesn't come the next week after you've picked your bike up. People ask us about looking after the bike initially. There's a couple of little bits of things that are key really. Optimate battery charger. If you're not using the bike a lot, then that's a really good bit of kit, because an Optimate battery charger will put a lead on the battery, it will keep the battery in tip-top condition, and you come to it and it will start, which is what you want, of course. Protecting the bike with products like ACF 50 is a good idea, particularly if you're using it in winter when there's salt on the road. I mean, salt is really, really corrosive. Unfortunately, in this country, we do put salt on the road, and you have to clean it off. If you want to keep your bike mint, it's just down to keep it down to work. Otherwise, it's going to look like a 3-year-old car when you lift the bonnet up, and it's all going to be corroded, and it's going to be a right mess. So there are other products. WD-40 is very good. Protecting areas, but you've got to keep it off the discs, keep it off the tyres. If you have been out on a salty road, rinse it off with cold water. That dissolves the salt and gets it off. Don't wash it with warm water, so it reactivates the salt. Running in is the main things when you're running it in. I mean, modern bikes are made to very fine tolerances. And people say to me, how carefully do I need to run it in? Well, my advice is take the first 100 miles very, very carefully. This is what we do with our demos. Take the first 100 miles carefully. Start increasing the throttle a bit. And, there are stickers on the tank to follow, but I have never followed them absolutely religiously. I don't thrash it in the first 100 miles, but I do start to sort of build it up a bit nicer. Let it feel its way, and just give it a little bit more rev, just for a little bit of a bit more, just a bit of short periods, and you'll feel it start to loosen off nicely. You'll start to feel like a nice, good, free running engine, because that's what you're aiming for. The thing to watch for immediately when you get on it is tyres, because they are slippy. We will have done the first couple of miles on it, we will have road tested it, our technicians will have been around the block on it, and they'll have taken the worst of the tyres shine off in that small distance. But obviously they are new, they are shiny at first, so just be careful of those. I can't emphasise that enough really. Also, what you're looking to do is run things like the brake pads in, trying to get them to feel nice, the chains, sprockets, stuff like that. Really, you're going to get the best life out of it if you are careful with it those first few miles, and then start to move it on a bit, and it'll be fine. And if you look after it, you will get years and years and years of good service out of it. So if you have it serviced, keep it clean, keep it lubed, look after it, bit of polish on it now and then, and it can give you many, many, many years of good service.